What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the first episode of the GameDay Squad English Football Show, brought to you by the GameDay Society. I'm joined here by Zonald. Zonald, welcome to the show. What have you made of your first week or so of the platform?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Slowly getting my teams together. I won't be challenging for any of the higher tier comps, but I'll
No, I don't say
hopefully
that.
be maybe if I win a few prizes. But now though, I think I'm just going to focus on the lower ones and maybe trade some of my higher players like my Diamond and Buemo down to some silvers and golds.
Yeah, nice. That sounds good. Now we're going to bring you a bunch of stuff to hopefully get you up to speed, even if you don't follow English football at all. We'll make sure that you have the knowledge just to be able to at least compete early, win some prizes, get some packs, and then get going. We're going to run through the platform, what's changed in 2025, because a lot of the things in English football are slightly different to all the other codes. So even if you're a seasoned Game Day Squad player, things might be a little bit different for you. We'll run through the scoring system, look at some players which might be able to take advantage of that, which wouldn't in normal conventional EPL fantasy. We'll look at the prizes and any kind of restrictions in your squad building. So let's just get started, eh? Very excited.
Yep.
All right, so as I mentioned earlier, there's been quite a few changes to the Game Day Squad football setup. Probably the biggest one is the introduction of emergencies, which I think is going to be huge, especially for a competition that's kind of at a funny time zone for us playing in Australia. What have you made of the emergency system?
It'll be interesting because how people split their resources up, I guess you'd say,
Yeah.
especially if you enter multiple of the competitions. Like, so I'll be in the starter one, I'll go classic and contender. And as an example, right now for the forward line, I've got Saka, Haaland, Salah, and Marmoush as the starters.
Mm-hmm.
Then I've got Isaac as the emergency. But is that, do I want to leave him there, or do I want to move him to another competition to make use of him, or otherwise he might just go to waste as my emergency?
Yeah, that's a great point because I guess with being out like being in so many competitions now, you've got to actually play your cards that you have. So, do you think there's like a specific type of player that would fit good for emergencies, or like one of those
I,
consistent squad player, or not squad player, but someone who's just playing every game, ticking away, scoring some points, or do you want to hit hard?
I think you're pretty spot on. Like either someone who's consistently just going to be in the 11, so you're getting some points as a substitute.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's be honest, it shouldn't happen too much with teams.
Yeah,
Like, unfortunately, what might happen is your player gets benched, and then if they're good enough to be in your team, they're probably good enough to get onto the field at some point.
yeah,
Um, so the chances of someone coming in short of a late injury or one that wasn't announced is very low. Um, so I think that's the good option to go with a starter uh, that's guaranteed to get you a little bit of points.
yep,
Or my other favorite option is to just go for someone super good, so someone one of the higher tiers
mm-hmm.
that has a really good fixture.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know, I like
But
that. I
let's
think,
let's think. So like West Ham play Sunderland, I think, in week one. So
yeah,
maybe Jared Bolton as an emergency if you're not going to use him elsewhere.
yeah, no, it's a good shout. I think I was looking at a few. I think it's Forest have a few great early fixtures, so I think some of those guys will be sitting on my bench.
For sure.
Yeah,
Chris Wood might be a decent option.
yeah,
Like obviously he's a bit older this year, but
yeah, I think Chris Wood is currently sitting on my bench actually. Funnily enough, so sorry, on my emergencies.
that
So
makes sense
that could be a good shout. Um,
for sure.
One of the other things, so with the emergency system, it does also come with a fixed lockout. So it means that we can't loophole like you can in other um, systems with emergencies. I don't mind that though, to be honest. I think I'd like the idea of just setting a team, having it there as a backup, and not exploiting it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. I agree. Like if anybody's played FPL or has come over from FPL, pretty much how that works. You've just got a lockout. If you get late injury news or something similar, then it's just like bad luck. hopefully one of your subs come on.
Yeah.
Which I guess makes the emergency maybe a bit more important if there's like a, let's say, Monday game and it locks out on Saturday night for us.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Because like the fixtures do spread out over a decent chunk of time, and with the time zone issues, it's
Yeah,
going to be a struggle to stay up and keep track of all this stuff anyway. So it is nice to have that assurance that you should have at least a full squad of scoring players.
yeah. In saying that, FPL usually locks out an hour and a half before, so you don't get team lineups. Whereas at least with GameDay Squad, you'll get the team lineups for the bulk of the first up games,
Yeah,
unless there's only one, of course.
yeah, that's true. So you can maybe that's a good way to set your emergencies is someone who is starting in that first game.
Yeah,
That could be a good
for
shout,
sure.
really.
Yep, nice one.
Yeah. Another one of the big changes is the change to the Legends system. Now, I don't know if you've been following on the Discord, but Legends have just been dropping. They're everywhere, and
Yeah,
I like the new system. So basically, Legend drop rates are a bit higher than they used to be, but it means that a Legend will fall every season. So the season that you pack the Legend, it'll get you 1.5 multiplier. And then every season after that, you still get 1.45 multiplier. But there will be a new Legend that comes in for that player. What are your thoughts?
yeah, I think it's good. Like very minimal of a change in multiplier,
Mm-hmm.
so still recognizes the fact it's a 1 out of 1. Gives value to it. It's not just, oh cool, I'll pack this season and be useless next season.
Yeah,
And then still wants to make you hunt later on in future seasons to get it.
that's the thing. Like I'm big on the AFL side of GameDay Squad, and as soon as I saw that Dacos Legend dropped, I was like, oh, what's the point? May as well just delete my
Yeah,
account now. I'm never gonna get it. But now there's still hope. So
yeah, exactly, for sure.
yeah, nah,
In saying that, I haven't seen too many of the like massive um legends in this one drop. Like obviously you got Marmush, which is like I rated in the top tier for the forwards.
yeah,
Eight Nuri's been packed for the defenders.
yeah.
I'm sure there's a few more I'm forgetting, but I don't think I've remember seeing Haaland or Salah yet
No, I don't
for
think
the
I've
main
seen
ones.
them either. So not yet anyway. But I will be opening a couple
Yeah,
of packs at the end of this, so I'm sure we'll be seeing them
here we
then.
go.
Now, one of the more exciting announcements that came with English football, I mean, it's all been pretty exciting, but what I've found great is the prizes that they've announced. Now, there's 38 weeks, 38 game weeks, and the prizes range from, in the contender competition, you can win $100 each week as well as packs. Working your way up to in the top champion competition, $500 a week. That's madness.
Yeah, if you're building up, winning that constantly and building up a pool of prize money, then that's a good old spend and spree, either after the transfer window happens or into next season.
Yeah, and as well, the other thing that you can always do is double the money and then cash it out as packs is something that they've recently introduced as well, which I've taken advantage of a couple of times in the AFL. So I'm hoping that I can build a team to get up in these numbers, but regardless, the prizes drop pretty low. Also, like if you're in the classic
Yeah,
competition, down to 500th position gets a prize. Like that's
yeah, 100%. And like even champion, like I don't think you'll see I'm going to say too much over the 100 people that'll have competitive champion teams.
yeah,
So like even just getting a one player unique pack out of that, you might pick up someone half decent.
yeah, and with the drop rates as well. Like as long as all the legends
Yeah,
haven't gone, like we're seeing lots of legends come out in uniques, even common packs. I've seen a few legends come out, which is
yeah,
great. I think I saw two legends in one common pack. So these prize packs are, potentially worth more than the money themselves.
yeah, for sure.
Um,
But yeah, it all looks good. Like you said, I like it that it's more spread out amongst a bigger pool of players for better rewards.
yeah, And then when moving down to the seasonal prizes, similar to a lot of the other competitions now, they're offering prize cards with all-star cards, which is, you know, obviously there's no prize cards in the competition yet, but as soon as you start getting prize cards, that's going to be crazy. Like,
Yeah, for
who
sure.
who would you be picking a number one? Do you think?
I feel bad like saying eight Nuri because it's like it's a defender and like usually you wouldn't associate that would be the number one option.
Yeah,
Um, I'd probably get drawn into doing like Haaland because he's still quite young. There's
yeah,
always the chance he goes to like a Real Madrid though,
that's
and
the
then he's
thing.
like, yeah.
Yeah,
So, whereas eight Nui's just signed for City, and so long as he doesn't have a trash season and get transferred out, like he could be a good option there.
yeah,
Um, Verts is another one who signed a long-term contract, just moved to Liverpool, so he's probably a pretty safe bet for it as well.
yeah. No, I don't mind
But
the
yourself,
not going for a big striker option because if you pick a defender, you can basically just sit them there. Because if you got your forwards, you're going to be, there's a lot of competition in that spot. So they might not be the best option every week. Whereas if you get defender, there's a higher chance that they're going to be the best option every week. So don't have to think about it.
exactly, especially like in a good team like City, who's going to probably keep clean sheets.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Maybe Arsenal more so. Arsenal's pretty good at keeping those, so um, you can just consistently rely on, irrelevant of the fixture, they're probably going to do well defensively. If they're an attacking fullback, there's always a chance they get some good attacking stats from it as well.
Yeah, nice. Now, the last thing we're going to talk about in this kind of section is the scoring system. Now, what's really cool about the scoring in this is that each position will score differently for each stat. So, for example, goalkeepers, defenders. I don't know if any goalkeepers scored goals last season, but goalkeepers and defenders score more points for goals than midfielders and forwards. And then your defensive stats as well. They're going to favour your defenders. Uh,
Yep.
so yeah, any interesting stats there that have jumped out at you? Obviously, it's a bit more comprehensive than a lot of the other fantasy, platforms that are out there at the moment. Um,
Which
yeah,
I really enjoy the fact there's a lot more variance and differential rather than just oh you scored a goal or assisted or kept a clean sheet. That's cool. Here's
yeah.
points.
No, I know what you mean.
Um,
And with the defenders
I
as well, you're not as soon as they concede a goal, your defenders are just down to 2 points or whatever it is. Whereas now, at least, your team can be losing and still your defenders still scoring great.
Yeah, 100%. I think like James Tarkowski is a good example of that. Like Everton, they're pretty good at keeping clean sheets regardless. They've got Pickford in goal and he's half decent.
Yeah,
Um, so Everton concede still doesn't ruin a chance of him performing well because they're good defensively and he performs a lot of good defensive actions.
yeah,
Um, so it brings a lot more centre defensive midfielders, centre backs into the scoring system,
yeah.
which again I'm like a good fan of.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Not particularly any one stat that does stand out. I like the fact that like key passes and shots on target are twos across the board rather than just a singular point.
Yeah,
So pretty rewarding for people who can pass well, people who take shots. Like
yeah,
Semenyo, I think takes huge amounts of shots, gets it on target, but I think last year he hit a bunch of them directly at the keeper end of the post.
mm-hmm.
So stuff like that was still rewarded for him because he's having a good game, but he just can't finish.
Yeah, yeah. Are there any players like you said, center defensive mids are probably going to actually have a chance now at being relevant? What about like your Rodris and those kind of guys? How do you see them fitting into this kind of system?
Yeah, I think Roger is a good one because from memory, I last season he was injured, obviously, but
Mhm.
from memory, I'm pretty sure he had a half decent assisting season, either the beginning of last year or like the year before that.
Yep.
Um, so I think he'll go half decently anyway because
Mm-hmm.
he's a deep line playmaker type.
Yep.
Someone like Caicedo, I think he finished in 4 or 5 of the defensive action statistics, top 25 for the league.
Okay.
Um, wasn't close in any of the attacking ones, so sits pretty deep, plays as a right back sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, So he relies a lot on those defensive actions. So he's someone who might just push up from that. It'd be great if he became a bit more attacking, but
Yep.
obviously hard to do on a Chelsea team that has so many more options ahead of him in that push forward.
Yep. Yeah. No, I honestly am struggling to wrap my head around it a little bit because
Mm.
it's going to be one of those things where we just have to wait and see who does it,
Yeah,
like who just pops out of
just,
nowhere. And I think the first
yeah,
round or two, if you make some good picks, you can just get a long way ahead. So
yeah, exactly. If you're onto the ball of who actually like get this done,
yeah,
like when I was doing the research for some of our articles we've written and put out,
yep,
uh, I just had my head in my laptop looking at like StatsMuse. It has
mm-hmm.
all their top 25 categories and just picking and choosing and comparing who was across heaps of them. I think another one who might be a bit of a standout, Declan Rice.
Yeah,
Last year he was obviously a lot more attacking than he usually would be, or he was at West Ham. So
mm-hmm.
he had a bit more license to attack, which he did extremely well on some of the attacking statistics, especially passing wise.
Mm-hmm.
But his defensive side fell down. So if he can gain that back up, especially with Zuba next to him now,
Yep,
then that could bring him into the like top tier sort of status.
yeah, okay. I don't mind that because I do have a diamond sitting on my It's not
Yeah,
even on my bench, so that could be a nice little one to sneak in.
yeah, for sure. Even like games where it's like Manchester United in the first round, they've got if they go half decently attacking with their new like front two, maybe front three by the time the
Mm-hmm.
season starts. Even if United aren't winning, that's the sort of game where he could ramp up those defensive statistics and maybe he
Yeah,
scores a free kick or sets up from one of his free kicks.
yeah. Because there are a lot of stats as well in here where, like, if you're losing, you're more likely to score higher. Like a lot of the
Yeah,
the aerial duels and stuff, the balls that are coming in. If you're a big centre back and someone's just peppering your box all game, you could rack up the points pretty quickly.
for sure. Like Brentford, I reckon, might be a good example. Last year they had Flecken, who was the only keeper in the top 20 scorers,
Mm-hmm.
not including like minutes played. Um, so along with that, I think Collins was either in that two or up there, the centre back for them, and Sepp Vandenberg was pretty decent for the minutes he played,
Mm-hmm.
and that's all coming down to the fact that they're getting shots against them. So it's resulting in them taking clearances, other defensive actions, so they're scoring well, regardless of playing well or losing in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Flecken's doing well because he's making those saves, but even if they were conceding, they'd be losing points for the goals conceded, but they'd be gaining still their defensive actions they're doing.
Yeah, no, it's definitely going to be interesting, especially with some of the I guess centre backs of the promoted clubs. Just be very interesting. But anyway,
For
all
sure.
right, now we're going to get to the section of the show where we're going to run through each position and we're going to talk about a star player, a premium player that we should be targeting, a smoky player or a unique player, which, hopefully you can play and get ahead, and then maybe a trap as well. So we'll start off with the goalkeepers. Who's your premium player, do you think, this season?
Let's go Allison. Like he ticks a lot of the check boxes, plays for
Yep.
a good team. I think Liverpool had the equal or the most clean sheets in the league,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of if they had Allison or Kelleher in there.
Yep.
Um, has had a bit of injury trouble the last couple of seasons, so might not play every game.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously got a decent backup with Marshville there,
Yep.
or Marshville. But I think he's a pretty safe bet just because he'll make the saves he needs to. Liverpool might concede here or there, but they'll more than likely, let's say, a third of the season, if not a bit more, get clean sheets.
Yep. What about, obviously Liverpool have been playing quite a lot of games this season compared to some of the other teams. Do you think that will affect scoring or rotations or anything like that?
Potentially, the way Liverpool have done it, being a Liverpool fan, the way Liverpool have done it in
Yeah.
the past few seasons is in cups and in the Champions League or European competitions, they've
Mm-hmm.
played the backup keeper.
Yeah, right.
Um, Occasionally, Alisson played both, but normally in the less important ones or just in Champions League games in general, Kelleher was being the one in there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think given they've still got a half decent backup after he's gone, it'll be pretty similar. Allison, they'll prioritise for the league.
Yeah.
and then they'll just shuffle it around the other ones, other comps.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I feel like that's probably the trend with most of the big clubs is they'll play their starter through the season and then rotate them through the cups, their backups to keep them fresh.
Yeah.
What about your unique pick? Or do you want me to pick one?
Yeah, you go for it with this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna. It's a bit of a cheeky one because I may or may not have their legend card, but I'm gonna pick Leno. Just because I think he's probably one of those keepers that's, he's going to get a lot of those other stats because he's not in one of the top teams. He's going to get a lot of opportunities to accumulate points. Some of the bigger keepers, like your City, Arsenal. I mean, Allison we just talked about, but they're
Yeah.
they're going to get you clean sheets, but they may not get all those punches, those kind of things that just get can quickly accumulate. Yeah.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah.
100%. He definitely passes the eye test.
Yeah, nice.
Even when he was at Arsenal, passed the eye test. Good
Mm-hmm.
with his hands, makes a lot of saves. So
Yeah. No, I'm hoping we're right. Um,
yeah,
and what about a trap? I know there's one keeper who you don't like. Not quite sure what's going on
yeah,
there.
don't rate him at all.
Who is it?
It's just Sanchez from Chelsea. Like he's all right saving wise, but like playing out from the back, he's usually pretty horrendous. Makes a fair few mistakes. Whenever I seem to watch him, it seems to make them.
Mm-hmm.
And there was some rotation last year between him and Jorgensen, I think it was.
Yeah.
So it just wouldn't surprise me if a bunch of people go for Sanchez, fill their
Mm-hmm.
clubs out with him, go to play him. And I'm not sure where Chelsea's game's lined up for week one, but if it's a later game, they get done in by Jorgensen being the starter.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess there's a lot
It's more
of
down to that.
there's a lot of question marks around keepers at the moment, especially with transfer news. Obviously, Edison is the big one as well. Any
Yeah,
insight into
for
that
sure.
situation?
It's like if they're bringing Trafford in, it's and like he used to play for the club, so they had a
Mm-hmm.
buyback clause. So it's like if you're going to the trouble that to bring him back, you're probably going to start him. And there
Yeah.
was rumours surrounding Edison anyway, going to I think one of the Turkish clubs. And last year he was out a little bit because of injury, but in some games they were just straight going for Ortega when Edison was fit. So
Mm-hmm. So
seems like it's been inevitable. And
do you think Ortega stays number two then? And then,
I think so. I think they're happy with him as backup and
mm-hmm.
playing games we need to, which might mean Trafford's a bit of a don't
Mm-hmm.
pick him every week because he might get the occasional rotation with Ortega being a new
Yeah.
keeper there.
I guess my only thought behind the transfer is did City buy them back using the buyback clause because I think they can sell him for more than what they paid. That's the
Yeah,
only
true.
because City's big on money, obviously.
Yeah,
But I don't know. I doubt it, but that's my only
could
hope for
be.
Edison, really.
Newcastle are in for him.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Newcastle were in for him, so maybe they're just doing that to get Newcastle's money.
maybe.
Um,
Yeah.
but if he does play, he's going to be probably one of the better options. Like City keep clean sheets.
Mm-hmm.
I think he had a huge save percentage of like
Yeah.
84% in the league last year.
Yeah, and assists as well. He's just like pumping the ball forward.
Yeah,
Oh,
Pickford's
sorry.
a bit like that too, actually.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so we've talked about the goalkeepers. Now let's look at the defenders. Who is your number one defender? Who's your number one target if you don't already have them?
He might even be my number one like player, and it's probably going to be Rayan Aït-Nouri.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I've only managed to get his bronze so far, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking to get his silver, gold, and plat as well. Hopefully,
Yeah. I have been in a
um,
couple of people's DMs about a diamond, and
yeah,
I'll be honest, no
yeah,
success.
I feel like he's going to be people have clocked onto the fact that he might be a bit of an expensive one.
Yeah, it's because you're running your
Um,
mouth.
yeah, exactly, put him everywhere, but like it just makes sense. He's last year for Wolves, obviously they weren't great. They conceded a fair few goals, but very attacking in that lineup. And if
Mm-hmm.
you're doing that for Wolves and still going well, half decently on some of the defensive statistics, doing half decent on some of the attacking statistics at a City where your clean sheets are going to go up,
And
unless you're horrendous and don't play.
mm-hmm. And you're going to be
Mm,
pushing forward a lot as well.
exactly. And like, who's his competition at City? It's like
Would it be, I don't know, is it Arke?
because I feel like yeah, because I feel like he can play either side as well.
Yeah.
So like at a push, so he
Hmm.
might even just stay in and be versatile because of that.
Yeah.
Um, which makes him even more of a pickable player.
Yeah.
Um,
So you think he's just slot
so the
straight
clean,
in? Because that's a
yeah, I think
big,
so.
yeah.
Yeah, I reckon so, and I reckon they bought him for a reason. He's going to play games. He'll keep clean sheets. Pep likes to play with his fullbacks right up.
Hmm.
Um, so that's only going to end well for him. With Haaland to aim for as well, Haaland's probably going to continue scoring, and he'll knock in some that wouldn't have been assists regularly.
Yeah. No, I think that's a great call. And if
Yeah,
anyone has a spare one, get in my DMs, please. Uh, all
yeah,
right. Let unique options, or maybe undervalued players, I guess, is what it could be. I think Cucurella is someone who, um, he gets forward, score, assist, gets crosses in, things like that. I think there's all the things that just get points in this game.
yeah, exactly. Like Chelsea are half decent at keeping clean sheets as well. I
Hmm.
think they'll sort of up towards there as well. They're probably only going to get a bit better in defence this year. Cole's
Hmm.
a year older, so
Yep.
good leader. But as you say, Cucurella does get forward. I think he was like top or maybe second for goals for defenders, so
Yep.
makes sense for a pick.
Yeah, and maybe just one that you pick a game where he probably, Chelsea will score 4 or 5, and he might be one of them. That's
Yeah, for sure,
yeah,
definitely.
nice. And what about your trap? Who who do you think?
This one will be very debatable because I've
Hmm.
seen a lot of people like looking for him and have him in their lineups and
Hmm.
along those lines. Um, Liverpool's new sign Jeremy Frimpong,
Yeah, right.
and the reason I say it
It's a
is
big call from you.
because yeah, being a Liverpool fan too, so it's probably just me putting my nose in just a bit too far. Um, I just think it's going to be more of a 50-50. Like people will say, oh, if it's a brand new sign, they're not going to spend 30 mil to bench him.
Hmm.
But they might, and it might be a bit more 50-50 with Bradley.
Yep.
Could end up that they just rotate Bradley in for Champions League games, but I think it'll be Bradley starting the season in the Prem,
Hmm.
Frimpong coming off the bench, and then maybe Frimpong eventually overtakes him.
Yep.
Definitely an early season trap, though, I reckon.
So maybe a card that you can get in like round 2 or 3 when the value goes right down. Like,
I reckon, yeah, keep your eyes on it. People will like start to sell or go, oh, well, I don't want him. He's no good, and won't
yeah,
actually look at what's happening in the background, sort of thing.
yeah, no, nice one. I think I agree with that. I currently do have him in my side though, so I might have to make a quick change because I think you actually
You
might be
know, the good
right.
news is though,
Yep.
Liverpool are the first game, so we're going to get team lineups before it.
Oh, that is a great
Yeah,
point. Maybe if he's playing, and I'll sit him in the emergency just to see what happens, and
yeah.
then yeah.
Although I do think the first game is it's a 5 a.m. game, so
Oh,
as long as people are having to stay up to 3:45 to get the team news.
the thing is, I probably will because I'm going to be that
Me too.
excited. Yep.
Yeah, maybe get a late snipe on him if he's named.
Yep. All right. So that's the defenders. Now midfielders. This is going to be tricky. We're going to have to, you know, go through a big list. I think the premium option, which I don't know if a big call, but I think Bruno Fernandez is going to be a good pick this year. I think he's going to be a better pick than he was last year, and I think he was a good pick last year. I think United are. I mean, they can't go much worse than they did last year,
Yeah,
and if they're going better, they're going to be scoring more goals, which means he'll be getting more goals, more assists. His score will go up. What do you think?
yeah, agreed. Like as you say, they can't go much worse. And if you're performing as well as he did, what was he like top five for
Yeah.
points last year in a team like that?
Hmm.
It's probably going to go up. He's probably going to stay on pens regardless of Waymo being there. So, yeah, probably the best pick you can make. If not, maybe like there's so many options in midfield to choose from.
Yeah, I mean, like you can't. There's probably like 5 or 6 players that I would be very happy to start every week. So
Yeah, and
yeah,
that's with even having a look at the fixtures. It's just
exactly
like
right.
regardless of who they play, these 6 are all pickable.
Exactly right. What about you? Who's your unique pick, or maybe someone who's going to go under the radar?
Probably Declan Rice, and like we've discussed this a little bit in our DMs and whatnot, but he, when I was looking at his statistics, naturally he used to be a defensive midfielder, especially at West Ham.
Mm-hmm.
Last year became a lot more of an attacking central midfielder,
Mm-hmm.
not an actual cam, but a midfielder that moved forward a lot. Scored a couple of goals against Real Madrid as a highlight, but in general, his attacking statistics were decent for GameDay Squad scoring.
Mm-hmm.
If he can put back together his defensive statistics that dropped last year, then he's probably going to become one of those all-round midfielders that are towards that top 20, if not top 10 as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that as well. He's probably one that's going to sit as like one of my emergencies, I think, because
Yeah, I think that's a good call.
he's going to play most games. You'd assume he's going to score decently in most games. Sometimes he might score really well, but I think he's just a safe bet.
Yeah, and like again, he's one of those ones where he could either have a really good defensive game because he's got the ability to, or he could have a good attacking game because he's got that ability as well.
Yeah.
Um, I think he might even be on some set pieces, if not a lot of them are penalties.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and with Victor Goriki's there now, it's probably going to result in some assists as well for him.
Yeah. No, I think it's a good call. Nice. And what about your trap? Who do you? I mean, it's difficult to say because there's a lot of good options. But who do you think people are
Yeah,
going to play or think is going to be a good option and then be disappointed?
it's like it's very difficult because like there's that many that are going to play, probably not going to be trapped, so you won't fall into it that often. But maybe like Rain Cherky,
Mm-hmm.
maybe people will like start with him because he's a new signing, plays for a good team in City.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think he'll start,
Okay.
especially in most games. But it's just like Pep's roulette, Foden's maybe preferential again. KDB's gone. Maybe he'll want to play Doku against certain fullbacks. Savinho's there too, so they've got so many options attacking wise. So
Yeah.
he's
And I
probably
guess
just naturally going to be.
yeah, even if he starts, it could be a 60-minute game. Like it's not necessarily going
Exactly.
to be a full game. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And I think people will like sort of have that opinion as well with Foden,
Mm-hmm.
especially because anybody who doesn't crack English Premier League that much is probably just going to look at his last season and go, "Oh, Foden's trash. He doesn't score well."
Mm-hmm.
But without knowing the background of he was in bad form, Pep wasn't playing him for certain personal reasons. He was the player of the year the season before that,
Yeah.
and he's only still super young. He's probably going to rebound back.
Yeah. No, definitely. So yeah, it's tricky. You could pick any of those City midfielders as a trap really, but
Yeah.
it's gonna be tricky. I I honestly don't know if I can pick a City midfielder in the first couple of weeks at least. Might be a bad call, but
No, I think it's perfectly fine, and like it's a decent shout not to put that, especially as your emergency. Because if
mm-hmm.
you are having to use those, then you can just get like somebody who comes in for 13 minutes as a fill-in, which isn't much better.
Yeah, no, that's a good call. All right, now probably the hardest section to break down is the forward line. There's so many good options in here, and so few slots to fill up. Premium. There's probably 2 uber premiums that come to mind. You probably know who I'm talking about, Salah and
Yeah,
Haaland. I think I'm going to lean towards Haaland though, which might be controversial. Just
no, I'll
because
agree with you on it.
yeah, I think Salah's obviously coming off a record-breaking season, all that stuff. So if he does that again, incredible. But I can't see him doing that, especially with everyone that's going to be around him. Whereas Haaland probably was underdone last season. I reckon. I think there's definitely room for him to go up. So depending on Yeah, I mean, obviously, pick them both if you can, but if we have to pick one, I think for me it's Haaland.
Yeah, I agree. Unlike the games he missed last year, he missed a big period through injury, so
Mm-hmm.
he's just gonna probably add another few goals if he plays that whole season. I think it was number two for 4 goals, regardless of missing those ones. So
Mm-hmm.
um, I would stick with that pick too. So I was probably gonna have a bit of a drop off.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm still trying to get a Salah, and I definitely will be starting one if I get one. But it's
Yeah,
yeah, it's a tricky spot. Now, what about
yeah.
the unique or um, your sneaky pick?
It's one that, like, unless you look at the statistics, no one's gonna realize how good he'll be in game day squad.
Yeah.
So
What
Dwight
before you go? Oh,
McNeil.
I was going to say, are you sure you want to say it on the live coverage?
Yeah,
Whether
I'm
you want to
happy
give
to
this one
go
away?
for it
Yeah.
because if it comes back and bites me in the foot, I'm sure I'll hear about it as well. Oh,
Yeah.
I picked McNeil because you told me.
Yeah.
Um, I think he's a good one for that last spot in the forward line if they've got a 50-50 game or against one of the lower tier teams,
Yep.
maybe a promotion team, because he only started 14 games, I think it was last year, and
Hmm.
like had 21 in total games, mainly because of injury. Like he just kept getting repeat injuries.
Hmm.
But when he did play, he still ended up towards the top 25 for a lot of statistics in the attacking sense.
Hmm.
I think he finished in them for a couple of them too, some of the passing ones.
Yeah. Okay.
He's on a lot of set pieces, corners, and free kicks. Might take over pens if and Dye doesn't still take them because
Hmm.
Calvert-Lewin's gone now. Um, Turno Barry, I think it is there. Or Barry came from Villarreal, so that's another attacking option he can supply to.
Yeah.
But because he came out so well in those stats, especially why Everton were having probably their worst part of the season when he was fit,
Hmm.
it's just like he's probably going to keep continuing that and popping up in games if he is fully fit.
Yeah. No, I like that. One of those sneaky ones where the numbers just kind of make it work. Like I would never consider starting someone like him, but then like I probably should. Yep.
Yeah, have a look at it at least. It just depends. Maybe it's just a short, condensed space of stats that are
Yeah.
making him look good. But in saying that, it's like compared against seasonal stats for everyone. So
Yeah. And you said he started, like he played a bunch of games but didn't start them all. Is that something that could happen again, or?
I think that's just more fitness. So he was coming back from injury for
Yeah. Okay.
those ones he didn't start.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, yeah, I'm pretty sure it would have been that.
Yeah. Sweet. No. Nice. And then what about our trap? Any big names that you're thinking might not be big names anymore?
Yeah, it's a hard one. Like Son's probably one that comes to mind.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that there's a few reasons for that. Like he's rumored to go to the MLS. It's not done yet. So what are the chances it's not done by the time the season sort of starts?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and if it doesn't go through, maybe all these rumors are going to result in their new manager not favouring him. So
Yeah.
might not start because that Ange wasn't a huge. Well, I think Ange was a fan of him, but just did not play him a lot last year.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a good call. It's and he's getting older as well now. Like it's that obviously Spurs had a trash season last year as well in the Premier League at least. So
Yeah,
I think it's going to be like a rebuild, which means that someone like him's probably you know going to have to step away at some point and maybe give up some of the key roles that would have scored him
yeah,
big.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, all right. So this is probably going to be my favorite part of every episode where I'm going to open a few packs and I'm going to build a team around what I pack. So hopefully it will eventually get competitive, but we'll see. Um, who who do you think I should be hoping for here? Like obviously the big names, but
Yeah, well,
any,
we opened a few packs on the stream like what last week, and I got 2 silver Halland. So what's to stop you getting something
yeah,
just
that's
as
true.
good from these?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was a really good stream, that one. Um,
Yeah.
I kind of wish we recorded it, but anyway,
Yeah.
doesn't matter. Players are in my squad, so who cares? All right,
Yeah, for sure.
let's just rip it open. The first one. Give me just so for those who don't know, that animation where it just spins around, that just means you either get silver or gold. You don't get anything above that. So let's have a look. Silver. Thing is, if I'm building up a squad, I probably want a lot of silvers and golds.
Yeah, for sure. Are you
But
going to be like trading up as well, or is it purely just going to be from packs?
uh, I think it's just going to be from packs, to be honest.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So, McAllister.
Pretty decent.
Yeah.
Should play most games for Liverpool.
Yeah, it could be a good starter.
Another good one.
Yeah, I mean this is good like squad players. This is what I need at the moment. So
Yep, another good one.
yeah.
Especially if Eze leaves.
Mm-hmm. Ekwa.
My man.
Straight into the goals. I know how
My
much you love
guy.
him. Thiago. Yeah, but yeah. Tressa. I mean, that's got a bunch of players in there, which I will start. So that's a good start for me, I think. No
for sure.
massive
Especially
names.
Silver,
Yeah, no elites, but some decent startable players. All right, pack number 2. Ooh. Okay, so we've got a platinum in this one. So gold, silver, platinum. Oh, 2 platinums. So
nice one.
Gibbs White,
Right.
Humphreys, Rig. Oh, whoops. Did that out of order, but anyway.
Samantha.
Yeah. Earthy. Santos. Silver. Not as good.
Yeah, despite having Platts in it. Like,
Yeah.
Gibbs White's good. He's staying at Forest, funnily enough.
Yeah. And good start to the season. So
Yeah.
probably will feature a bit. But we'll jump into the
Did you
last
hear
pack.
about that whole saga?
No.
So he apparently Tottenham were greasing palms with him and his manager before getting permission to speak to him.
Oh.
So then Forest were going to sue Spurs, and then it just sort of collapsed, and he stayed at Forest now.
Oh, that's great. I hope he got some cash on the side at least to keep.
Yeah.
All right. Last chance at a legend. There have been quite a few legends dropping from common packs, so would love to be one of those people. Oh,
Yeah, it makes me cry in the Discord.
yeah, another platinum. So, look, if I'm starting in a lower tier, I can't play these diamonds or platinums in that. Diamonds and legends in that anyway. So, if anything, I'm happy I didn't get a legend. Humphreys. Oh. Nice.
Anderson's a good one. I know one of those a lot of people won't think he's going to be that good, but statistically he's great.
Yeah. Gakpo, what do you think of his, what's going to happen
It's a tricky
with him?
one. So with Diaz moving, he should naturally get the left wing role. I think it'll be a bit rotational again because Ekatike apparently will be used on the left a bit. And the young 17-year-old we've got, Rio, he's been really good in preseason. So he might have rotated a little bit.
Okay. So, because I remember when he came in, he was incredible. But,
yeah. Was really good leading into it. He's still good. Like, he'll be a good pick as long as he's fine.
Yeah. Fafana. That's, I mean, again, playable players. No,
Yeah.
No top tier players, but I think that's enough to get me started. So
Yeah, and Hudson Odoi, like he's an interesting one because Alanga's obviously gone, so he becomes their like number one winger, I guess.
mhm.
So it might just naturally get more goals and assists because he becomes that.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah. Well, I think we'll wrap up the episode there because we've covered a fair bit. This probably won't run quite long, but it's quite an exciting start to the campaign. Um, if over the next week, what player do you want people to come into your DMs with? Sorry, put you on the spot.
Oh yeah, no, eight Nuri. Like I've had people hit me up and ask me for eight Nuri, and I'm just like, nah, but I'd love one if you've got
Yeah,
one.
yeah. I've been in a lot of DMs for that, and some ridiculous prices, but probably reasonable because everyone wants him. For me,
Yeah,
I think I just still need a Salah, so I'll probably be opening a lot of packs off camera because that's basically my life. I just do that because I can't help myself, and then hopefully next week I'll be able to report back with a Salah of some color.
yeah.
Beautiful.
Hopefully his home colours.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, anyway, thank you for watching, everyone. If you do like this kind of stuff, please make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment just to help us get in the algorithm, basically. Next week as well, we're going to be running a competition and a giveaway where we'll be opening a pack, and the first nine random people who comment on this video, like the channel, and also like the video, will receive one of those players. So all nine will go out to people. So make sure you do subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment. But anyway, thank you once again, Donald, for a great episode, great start, and look forward to many more throughout the season.
Yeah, no problems. Thanks for having me on.
No, always happy to have you on. All right, catch you later, guys.
I